Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Salvatore Bruno. Join me in discovering the mindset into fitness, nutrition and wellness, where I'll be answering your questions, interviewing the top names and leaders in the game, and of course, I'll be getting their stories on how they get motivated to become the best. You'll find it right here on Bruno Talks. Well, hello, and welcome everyone. So here we are, still very much in lockdown here in the UK. Now, we're not the only country that's in lockdown, as everyone knows, and a lot's happened over the course of the last couple of months. It's the last time I did one of these podcasts. I was quite happily driving to a friend's house, have a great podcast, spend the weekend away, and drive back. We went for walks, we went for meals, and look at us all now, essentially stuck in our homes and really only allowed to leave the house for once, a short exercise per day. It's amazing how, just over a course of a couple of weeks, everything has changed. And the more and more I speak to people, it's quite amazing how the dynamics of people's lives and their mentality towards it has also changed. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that are struggling, really generally struggling with their mental health. Fitness is out the window. Just everything has just gone on a really dark, negative route. But I'm talking about the people that have taken this moment, this thing that's happening right now, whatever you want to call it, and because there's so many different names for it, and have twisted it around into an absolute positive note, have really seen this as an opportunity. For people that are still working from home, they've managed to build themselves up a nice routine, set an alarm clock in the morning, get up, still have a home workout, then they're ready for their work day ahead, making sure that they've got time for their lunches and so on. Other people that are there with their families and now making the time to spend more time with their family than they ever have done. It's, people are looking at this as the opportunities of some real serious downtime. Even me, I'm feeling the effects of, I'm still working quite hard. I won't say I'm very busy because I've got a lot more time on my hands, but it does allow me to then invest that time into other things. And this is kind of like why I wanted to do a podcast today. Not for any other reason, but because there's a lots of people out there supporting people and making sure people are doing things in their homes. But for me, just to say, state the obvious, mate, that this will blow over. We are going to get to a point where it's just going to be finished. And things are going to go back to a normality or whatever that may be. Because frankly, the way I see it is it's never going to be a normal, or it's not going to be life as we used to know it. I think this will change a lot of things. When we here in the UK are allowed to go back to whatever the norm will be, I don't know that yet. I'm obviously just taking information from my family in Spain, my family in Italy, and kind of seeing what the effects are is over there and how we're kind of not mimicking it over here, but how we're kind of following suit like the rest of the countries. So for me, I'm giving myself a routine was probably one of the first things that I did. And that meant I just introduced my alarm clock. Because I think I did what most people did and what some people are still doing is that when I first went into lockdown, I just took the whole week off. I was still doing a bit of work here and there, but there was no alarm clock. My training was out the window. I had no idea what to do, and I just ate basically the house. It just went all out the window. But I kind of needed it. I kind of just needed to have that blowout. And I keep saying to people now, if you haven't had that blowout, maybe you should. Maybe you should just forget about, what life and routine and all that stuff is, and kind of get grips to what's going on around you. And sometimes you just need to have a blowout. You just need to just kind of forget about how things are. Just take some time out. Do some things that you wouldn't normally do. I mean, I'm not kind of like a PlayStation kind of Xbox kind of guy, but I'm actually using now. I've got an Xbox there, and I'm sitting there, and now I've started to find that I'm using it a little bit in my day just to switch my mind off, because if not, my mind would just continue to work and I will overload. So then I find myself that I'm now get up in the morning because my alarm goes off. I don't jump out of bed like I used to. My alarm used to go off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was bolt out of bed. I don't have that urgency anymore, because now I know that I've got a lot more kind of, my day kind of flows a lot easier. There's a lot more gaps in the day, so I don't have to have that rush kind of rat race feeling. So I get up a little bit, give myself like 15 minutes to kind of, that twist and turn in the morning, chill, get your bearings, and then up I get, and then I go into my little playground, and I give myself a workout. Now, my workout's completely changed. I've had a few messages regarding my workouts, and of course, I'm not training like I used to. My cardio levels have dropped a lot, because I used to do a lot of spinning, a lot of cycling beforehand. That's now finished with, because I don't have a spin bike here. So now what I'm doing is I've adapted my workouts to what equipment I have here, and I've changed it all up. So I've got a fresh new workout, and to be honest, buzzing, loving it. And I'm saying that to everyone, even my clients. It's really important to have something to, that gets you that excitement again. There's no point trying to mimic what you were doing at the gym. You will find it really, really hard. But you can bring in moves, exercise from the gym, and adapt it into your home using stuff that you have around the house. Now, I know a lot of people have weights and have the proper gym at home, which is amazing. And I wish I lived with you guys. But the fact is that not everyone does. So what we do is we have to adapt. And that's kind of like the biggest word that I found that I'm using over the last course of like the last 6 weeks, is people are adapting a lot more. People don't like change, but when you don't have a choice of how that change goes, you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you are then left being one of those people that are sitting on a sofa, moping around, not really find that drive to work out, not find that drive to even connect with people. You're just not doing anything. You don't know what day of the week it is. You're watching programs upon programs, and you don't know what's going on, because you're not allowing yourself to adapt. Now, the thing is, you're actually missing loads of opportunities. The opportunities are still there. The thing is, just because we're stuck in our house. Now, a lot of us people, and a lot of people I've spoken to, they're still working from home, which is amazing. So you're still working from home. You've still got that kind of routine. But the ones who are not are having to adapt and add things into it. I know that people that are starting to write, some people are starting to read. People are now, exercising more than they used to. People are starting cooking, doing things with their kids, gardening. The whole fact of what you can do now is kind of endless. Now, when I say endless, obviously you can't get on a plane, you can't travel anywhere. But the fact of the matter is there's so much you can do within your home, because we have a thing called the internet. Now, the internet is great. And I'm not talking about just getting on the internet and just scroll. I mean, I know people that have now signed up to go and do a course, because they know this course may only take them 2 weeks. And they know now that we're definitely going to be here locked down in the UK for another 3 weeks. So for them, it's just a really good way of getting a bit of knowledge and to buy their time. It's something else that they've added in. For me, I've started to bring back my book. So now I'm starting to write again. It's buzzing. I was so busy before the lockdown that I just generally didn't have time to write. And that sounds mad, but it's going to be something that I'm going to continue doing once we come out of lockdown, because I've got the love for it again. I've got that bug back. So now it's back in my calendar. My calendar's now becoming full. It's different colours. It's exciting. I wake up in the morning. I know that I've got a jam-packed day full of different things. And you can probably tell that I'm actually quite excited. I'm sitting here at home, and there's lots of negative things that I could be thinking about. I could be thinking about, when's the next time I'm going to be seeing my kids? When's the next time that I'm going to be able to see my brother and sister? When's the next time that I'm going to be able to go back to work and see my work colleagues? When's the next time that me and my other half just going to be able to go out and just go for a walk somewhere, or fly and go traveling? When can I do all these things? Negative, 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 negative. We don't want to do that. You don't want to have that kind of chip in your head. You want to be thinking positive, 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 positive. And you know what? You want to start your day with a massive smile on your face. Okay? Now, the reason that I've got this whole kind of positivity army going is because I didn't want to do anything else but just put smiles on people's faces through this horrible time that we're in. Okay? Because there's no other word for it. Okay? And it's around the world. It's everywhere. Okay? Now, I don't know much about it. I don't, in the sense as I don't know, I don't want to go into too much detail because there's going to be people out there, that know a lot more about it than I do. But what I do know is how to keep a real good positive mindset. That's something that I believe is something that I am good at. And for me, it works. And don't get me wrong, there is days that I wake up and I'm not always positive. I posted the other day exactly, and I was quite open on my stories to tell people that because I wanted people to understand that, I'm not always waking up with a big smile on my face because it's positive, positive, positive. Most days, I would say probably 90% of days, I get out of bed and I am determined to make it a good day. You lot can do the same by not focusing on the negatives. Focus on the positives. Focus on the things that you have around you. I have so many people that I speak to that are negative, but they're surrounded by their children. They're surrounded by their loved ones. You're surrounded by four walls. I appreciate that. But there is so many things you can actually do. There's also, you've got the time and the opportunity to learn things that you may not know. Make it into a positive. And now I'm probably going to be rambling on about this, and I've been rambling on it for months. But for me, it's a simple case that there is always something out there for someone. Okay? Now, the great thing about it is as well, it isn't related to money. I know this because so many people have spoken to me saying, I've got no money. I've been this, I've been that, I've got no money. I understand that. But there's so many things that you can do for free. Trust me, I'm doing it right now. Okay? My budget is like on zero because I am making sure that I ride this out. I am making sure that I literally sit here and things could cost you the earth or they don't. There is so many things now that online courses that are doing things for free. Connecting with your friends and making parties online are now free. Okay? Just reading a book is free. Okay? All these different things that you could buy, I know a lot of people right now that are knitting. I have no idea what's going on about the whole knitting side of things, right? But I know that people are doing it. People send me pictures of their knitting. And do you know what? It's amazing. I'm talking blankets, hats, scarves, you name it. It's incredible. But people are enjoying it because it's peaceful for them. I know people that don't normally do yoga, but they've planned 40 minutes of yoga every 3 days. Why? Because it's different. I've got people that are just sitting there now, taking 20 minutes out of their day because they're really busy and giving themselves some selfish time. There's lots of different ways that you can look to introduce things into your day and make them positive. Now, I understand that people say, there's loads of negative things that are going on. I always say to people straight away, if you can look out your window and the sun is shining, that should straight away put a big positive smile on your face. Okay? To be able to look out of a window with the sun shining, that instantly puts me on a high. Okay? It's then down to me to decide, how do I make my day good? How do I make it so when I finish my day, I finish it on a high? And that's where you need to plan it. Okay? So you need to first of all adapt, and then you need to plan. Okay? Now planning, I don't mean literally, there's different ways you can do it. You can get yourself a book and write down a few items, few things on a list that you want to do by the end of this week. Okay? It doesn't have to be a massive list, and most of the stuff on it doesn't even have to be hard. It could be just, if you're not very active, it could be, I'm just going to go and do a little walk every day. Or I'm just going to go and, do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to try and find a course, or I'm going to read a book. Something. Just write a little list. Or it could be the case where you're going to start putting a routine in place, which means that you're going to start setting the alarm. So instead of you waking up whenever that may be, which is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I don't know what time people get up. My natural body clock's a little bit earlier than that, but some people, they're just getting up because there's no routine. They're just getting up whatever. They're going to bed or whatever. Don't. Give yourself a little bit of a routine, Get yourself a bed a little bit earlier and set it up knowing the alarm's going to get up at 7 o'clock. Why? Because when you get up at 7 o'clock, it means that you must have stuff to do throughout the day. If that means that you get up in the morning and you go for a walk first thing, or you go and do a little bit of training, or a bit of yoga, or anything, or just read a book, or, just have an early breakfast, just something that gets you ready for that day. And then in your calendar, plan stuff for the rest of the day. Okay? If you are working, then most of your day will be taken up because of your work. In that case, in that calendar, make sure you book out times for when you're going to be having your breaks, when you're going to be having your lunches, and most importantly, when you're going to finish work. Because it's amazing that how many people are working from home and they're working longer hours than they did. And there's no reason to. It's only because they completely forget about what time it is and they end up working through their lunches. There's no need. There is no need whatsoever. Okay? If you're working from home, you should have actually more time to yourself and more time to work because you've got no commute time. So put your time in, put your lunches in, and when you finish work, and then your calendar then can tell you what you're doing next. I've got 40 minutes of walking, or I've got this to do, or I've got that to do. If you're not a calendar person, and I'm talking like a digital calendar, something you have on your phone that pops up on your desktop or whatever. But if you're not one of these people, just write it down. Okay? The amount of people that I've started to see now that are sending me pictures of post-it notes. It's amazing. I love it because I use them all the time. Lists and post-it notes. You get up in the morning and you've got a post-it note right in front of you of your list of things that you want to do throughout the week. It's these little things that will keep you driven, that will keep you determined, that will keep you motivated to want more, to succeed, to make that week a really kind of successful week. And then what you'll find is that you won't be one of these people then are just that have no idea of what's going on, what's going on. You got no idea what day of the week it is, and everything around you is negative. The four walls that you're surrounded by, are really quite small. Where realistically speaking, if you're in a positive note, these four walls will be quite big. In a positive mindset, the window is outside going on to the sunshine, which is going out onto the open world, and the what you can do with the internet is limitless. Adapt, is one thing. Making a plan is the other thing. And then improving. Whatever you do, make sure that you're able to then improve yourself into next week. There's nothing better than being able to do something this week and then beat it the next week. And I'm not talking like working out wise. It could be the case of like, that you are doing a little bit of a walk and it's for 10 minutes, but now you're going to go next week and you're going to do 15 minutes. Or you're doing this knitting thing again. And I don't know why I keep talking about this knitting. But, you do the knitting thing and all of a sudden it's a little bit better than last week. Last week you cooked and you managed to burn your muffins, where this week you're going to make them perfect. And then next week you're going to try, a full meal. I don't know. It's one of these things. I know people literally, one of our neighbours across the road, it's amazing. They've got a whole garden thing going on. They've literally been collecting pallets and they've making garden furniture and they're having a field day with the kids, literally making their time while stuck indoors real, true family time. It's all the outlook on your mind, and you can be sitting there wearing your positive glasses, or you could be sitting there and you could be wearing your negative glasses. And the fact of the matter is, it's only choices. It's your choice. You have a choice that you can walk out of this lockdown, you can walk out of this whole scenario, and you can walk out of there and say, I've actually made some memories. I've actually made the opportunities come to light. I've learned this. I did this. I made that. I spent time doing this. Or you can make that choice and you could sit there and you could walk out of this more negative than you ever have been. Where everything will look grey. Where everything will look dull. And it's all because of what if? What if? I can't do it. I won't do it. Maybe tomorrow. Nah, that's not what it's all about. We have one life and we have this situation that you can look at it as a total negative. Yes, the actual situation is, don't get me wrong, it is not nice. It is not positive. That's the things that are happening out there. But what I'm saying is, with a positive mindset, you can use your time at home so much better. Be productive. Write things down. Make a plan. Focus on it. Improve. Adapt. All these words that just makes you better, trust me, will make you more positive. Enjoy your time that you have with the people that you're with. I have messages with people that are saying that they're by themselves. Are you really? Yes, you may be at home by yourself. But nowadays, with the way that the internet is, the world is a small place. You could literally spend every single minute of your day speaking to someone if you really wanted to. If that is the case, how alone are you really? And this is why now for me, it's just a simple message to make sure that you all kind of flick that negative switch if you've got it. If you've got that positive switch, then don't worry about it. Just keep doing your thing, keep smashing it, keep enjoying it, keep their smiling going, and just keep going with that positivity army kind of vibe, right? But if you're not that person and you are struggling, then reach out. This is the time now that there is so much support and love out there. There is bags and bags and bags of it. I have a Facebook page or a Facebook group that I did on purpose to basically enable people to support each other. There is nothing more than just love in support in that group. I'm not saying that everyone has to come to my group, because I know there is thousands online right now. People are opening up their arms and giving virtual hugs. Okay? If you are struggling, now is the time to reach out. Reach out to me. Send me a message. I am quite open to spend time. I have more time than ever. If you want to speak and you're struggling with anything, reach out. I will be quite happy to help. Okay? Because now is a time that we have to embrace. We have to support. And we have to make sure that people that are not positive are positive. Because I truly believe there is opportunities for us to be positive, to make some memories at home, and also to continue to grow whatever business you may have, to build your personal self up in physical and mental. For me, it's a simple case of flicking that switch from negative to positive. You can do it. And if you can't do it solo, then reach out and go for that support that's out there. Okay? So for me, I'm going to round this up. I just want to say to everyone to stay home, to stay safe. You are legends by just doing the amazing positive things that you're doing out there. Let's all keep this support together, this love that's going around, this whole vibe that we can come out of this a completely different kind of community. Let's continue doing, and let's just send out that vibe worldwide. Okay? Let's just do it. So for me, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your messages. And I'll be right here if you need to reach out. But for now, you lot take care, stay safe, and my love goes out to you and your families. Take care. Goodbye.